And on top of that, the ball was 10, 15 yards overthrown. It was uncatchable anyway.
Come on now.
But once again, they got to be able to have Mahomes come in and save the day. How did they pull it out? The great Mahomes.
Stop it.
Girl,
Stop
I'm so sick of that acting.
Who in the world get on the Super Bowl stage and wear a blouse? Out in a choker.
So we just had Super Bowl 57 last night between the Eagles and the Chiefs. Gwen was very pleased with the result. I was not. Okay. And let me tell you why. I am so tired of Patrick Mahomes' dramatics and acting. He need to go win an Oscar for them performances he be putting on. I was talking to my mother and our uncle last week before the Super Bowl, and I said to them, Patrick Mahomes has this thing that he does where he limps at very key times. He pulls out that limp and that hobble at a key time so that he can come out in the second half and play through the pain and play through the injury and play through the adversity so that they can say, oh, how did he do it? Is he going to be able to do it? Is he going to be able to save the day? And then, of course, he pulls it out with the help of the referees. Once again, I'm so sick of it. I could have called this whole thing. It's almost like, a lot of people think the NFL is rigged. I do not. But this I could have seen coming. Brady gone, which we will mention later. Brady gone. They got to have somebody be the golden child, and it's him. They set that thing where he's limping. Oh, my gosh, he's on the sideline, writhing in pain and leaning to the side of all of that crap. Then you notice after the Super Bowl, after they won, I ain't seen him limp not one time. Everybody hugging him and dapping him up and being real rough with him. He just is smiling in the cheese and the grin. Why? Because that brother wasn't hurt all the way like that. He might have had a little tweak, but he know how to pull out them acting skills when he gets good and ready. I'm so tired of it. I'm not impressed. I think it's phony. I didn't want them to win, and it ticks me off that they did. I think the referees called a very bad game-altering call at the end, which gave them the ability to win that game. I'm so sorry. I'm not a Mahomes fan. I'm so sorry. I'm not pleased. Okay.
Now, I didn't want the Eagles to win, but I love Jalen Hurts' story. He'll get it the next time. I totally agree with Sabrina. I never paid attention to it until she brought it up, and I totally agree. But I have to also disagree with Sabrina because that was a call. Could they not have called it? Right. But he definitely did what they said he did. It was interference, right? Or it was
they called it something else, but basically it boiled down to he interfered with him, which I'll let you speak.
Got it. So he definitely did. But this is where I stand on it. I wish they had called it. Because now the Eagles fans going to say we got robbed. And then everybody's going to say, but the refs did the Chiefs a favor. I wish I would have, if I was the ref and I saw it, I wouldn't have called it. I would have just let him play. Because it was like you said, it was a game altering call that could have went on. How many times in the game does that play go unchecked?
That was my point. That kind of interference happens 99 times a game, and they don't call it.
But I would see if to call it at the end of the game. They was looking forward to call it.
Yeah, and I see if he mugged the man. Of course, you got to call that. That they're just in the midst of play. That wasn't game altering. And on top of that, the ball was 10, 15 yards overthrown. It was uncatchable anyway.
Come on now.
But once again, they got to be able to have Mahomes come in and save the day. How did he pull it out? The great Mahomes.
Stop it.
Girl, I'm so sick of that acting.
Stop.
Give him an Oscar and an Emmy. Put him on the stage.
Baby, you a best Sabrina. I wouldn't have called it. Was it there to call? Yes. But how many times does it that it does not get called?
Yeah, to me it was called
in a Super Bowl. You gotta overlook that. Sorry.
It was called in a timing where it looks a little biased. Like if you're gonna call that type of stuff at that point, call it the whole game. Don't call it then. It makes it look real, real tricky to me. It makes it real tricky. So anyway.
Chiefs won, second time in 4 years. So the Eagles lost. They played a phenomenal game. Jalen Hurts should have been an MVP.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a different respect level for this dude. Looking at his story from Alabama, how he was benched for Tua, then to come into the NFL and inside his rookie contract, he makes it to the Super Bowl. Phenomenal. All kudos. I'm a fan now. But let me share this part. The Super Bowl is on the grand stage of the national football. This is the most popular sport in the United States and some other areas, right? Mm-hmm. So this is the grand stage. This is where you elevate, you bring out your elite, you bring out that thing. Look at this video right here, y'all, and we're gonna talk about it when it's over. Now check this video out that I took when I had my dream seat. Remember, I was on the front row, so there wasn't nobody in front of me. It was just me and the team. Check this one out. Now, did this dude not come out or what? Who in the world get on the Super Bowl stage and wear a blouse out in a choker? That is not a change.
No.
Straight up, all he missing is the church lady hat. Right or wrong, Sabrina?
And it's funny because I seen a whole lot of pictures online when people put a hat on him. Oh man, it was bad.
On the major stage of the youth, and he came out. I told Sabrina. Sabrina said, "No, I went." Y'all, Sabrina, out that whoever that female is, she's a cover. Because even when I saw him in person, I was like, for that to be his girlfriend, he sure did handle her lightly. Because if I had me, Fletcher Cox, my boo thing, I would have straddled his butt on that, you know what I'm saying? But it wouldn't have been no little kiss on the cheek. But come on, Sabrina, that dude came out. He has on a blouse, a choker, and to top it off with the chain on the side.
No, that was the topper. Okay, let's say you wanted to be wild and pick a lavender outfit. You want to do something different. Okay. The shiny, shimmery camisole blouse was whoa. The thing like the choker and then a chain on the side, like the first lady church dinner. Oh no.
He lost the bet with somebody. I don't even say because you couldn't even get me to do that. He was coming out. I'm coming out. Remember that? He was coming out. You don't do that at the Super Bowl.
I don't know if the man was coming out. I don't know that. I just know I ain't never seen such things like that before from someone that posts their girlfriend or whoever she is, wife, all over their page. That was a little iffy. Okay.
Ain't nobody, hold it. Ain't no man of mine on this earth or the next gonna get on TV and wear that outfit and think he gonna come home to me. Oh, I'm burning everything in the closet.
Honestly, I'm surprised
because you gotta pre-approve the outfit before you even get on air through me.
Right, and that was my thing. Like, I'm surprised. Of course, you get your man wears what he wants. He's grown, but exactly. If it's something like that, you would be like, "No, babe, don't do it."
Why you wearing my blouse? So and put my choker back in a jewelry box.
That wasn't even her choker. That was his like mom's or grandma's choker. And that's the thing. He didn't even do it stylish. It was like old lady outfit. Oh man, the blouse is what got me. It was all bunched up.
And shit, and that's a droop neck. I done bought me two last weekend. That's called a droop neck. And I wear that to church under my blazer with the choker. I'm like, oh my God. And so going to so we're going to skip that to, this is a sore topic for me. Sabrina and I differ, but I'm going to have to put on my specs to talk about this.
Okay.
Thing. Damar Hamlin attended the Super Bowl, and he had on a jacket that I totally do not agree with. Everybody can have their opinion. You can wear whatever you want to wear. Sabrina and I had the conversation. I'll let her state her side. My thing is this. I'm a Christian. You do not put Jesus on a cross. Everybody knows he's no longer on a cross. Then you don't put his face on your jacket beat up and bruised like that. Then you don't say Jesus or God in any of it. You want people to guess what you're talking about. So it's so easy to put what people want to think. When you're speaking about the Lord, you have to make that statement clear and precise. It should be no doubt in your mind and anybody's meant to have to figure out where you stand. Jesus on that picture looked like a whole crackhead zombie that was beat up. And that's the words say he was beat unrecognizably. I get that. but you just don't do that. And those who are my age, 50 and over, know that thing that he did. Remember the toy you used to have with a blank lady, and you could attach a shirt,
Right.
and you folded it over to make it stay on the toy. That appears to be what they were attempting to do on the back of the jacket. No, I'm having it. I prefer if it was just the cross and you say John whatever, or you say Revelations whatever, or you say we Christians miss that. If he was trying to come from a faith base, I even miss that one.
Can I please jump in? Because I didn't miss it. I didn't. I feel like number one, he's young. Number one, wait a minute, he's young. Number two, yes, we understand that Christ is no longer on the cross. However, to those who may not understand, people need to understand that he did die on the cross, that he did hang there, that he was disfigured, that he was dismembered and spit on and blood. Let me finish.
Okay.
People need to understand that. Now, I don't know what his intention, but wait, let me finish. I don't know what his intention was. He may have had ill intentions. I wasn't offended by it. I feel like he was trying to express his faith and fashion and tried to bring them together, and some people just didn't like how he did it.
Okay, faith, that's God-based, right?
Say it again.
So if that's what his attempt was, why didn't he say God or Jesus in any of that?
How many religions have somebody died on the cross?
Sabrina, this is the thing. I get what you're saying, but this is the thing. I would prefer he did it differently. He has the right to do whatever he wants. Just say Jesus or say eternal life.
But you're trying to tell him how to express his faith.
I'm not. It did it for me. I did not like it.
I mean, I would be offended if he had Jesus on his jacket getting shot. You know what I'm saying? Or doing something crazy. I would be like, no, that's not. If that was
something crazy, Sabrina, I did not like it. We're doing too much. It's bringing too much of the world into our world. We need to conform. We need not to conform to them. They need to conform.
I don't see it as conforming.
I do, because the fact that he didn't say those words and the fact that he had to do all of that for you to guess what it was.
I didn't have to guess. I was very clear.
I did not like it.
Okay.
All right.
I look forward
no harm in it. A lot of people may feel that way. Personally, for me, I didn't like it. I wish he would have did something different. But again, everybody has their own way to go.
Yeah, and I think that's it's one of those things where you see it the way you see it. It's not a right or wrong. I
personally, I wish he would have did it another way. But
I just think he was on the world stage, and you probably feel like he was on the world stage and misrepresented. I feel like he was on the world stage and wore something that depicted supposedly, Christ on the cross.
Okay. But Christ wasn't on the cross with a scarf and a shirt and the other thing.
I didn't see no scarf and no shirt.
Because I tell you keep missing
I saw the little attachments on the side.
Yes. You don't need all that.
But he didn't have Jesus in no sweater or no scarf. That would be offensive, like making Jesus fashionable.
The thing is, you can put that. Okay, you didn't know the toy I'm talking about. That's fine. I didn't like it, and everybody's okay to have their own opinion. I wish he would have did it different, but it is what it is. So those who supposed to gain religion from that, I hope God's will move forward, and I hope a lot of people feel more of the way you do than I do, because I didn't see it as an opportunity to profess his faith or anything. I saw it as a complete opposite, if you ask me, but that's my thing. Like Rihanna ran the red. The halftime show was a bust for me.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that.
Her wearing the red. I knew exactly, because Sam Smith had on red at the Grammys. It's a tone that they're desensitizing us to and making us susceptible to. I got on red for Valentine's Day. And if they were to say that, it would be different. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the day for Valentine's Day. But it's something that they're setting us up to be desensitized to. That's how.
Yeah, I agree with that part. The Sam Smith thing to me was absolutely crazy. And you know what amazes me? I didn't watch the Sam Smith thing. I just saw the photos, and I'm like, even just the still photos were like, this is demonic from hell. That's what it is. Yeah. And Rihanna wore red, and red is not a sinful color. I just think it's all of it together and the imagery. And for me,
it's associated.
It's associated, and I think, for me, the performance was a little. People are going to disagree with me. I guess because it looks like she was expecting, let's say that, it looks like she's expecting again, it appears. So maybe that's why she wasn't really moving and doing what she would normally do. But I thought it was a little boring.
I told you, I graded it. Some my singles ministry. They asked us to chime in. I say C minus.
Yeah, that's I would say
I
C
like
minus
the
also.
dudes in the white was getting it there. They was
Yeah,
doing
yeah. I
but
didn't like some of I didn't like some of her hand placements. I'll say that. There was several intentional hand placements.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Neither here nor there because we know they're gonna do that. But yeah, I just found it to be boring, and I found it to be undertones of, again, demonic. But anyway,
yeah, that's how we feel about those are the two wardrobe mishaps we wanted to talk about. But
yeah,
man, that Fletcher Cox just floored me. I said, what in the world? But anyway, getting back
and it's like even in the look on his face, he looked like he knew he was wrong too.
I know I'm wrong, y'all, but
stop it.
He had on a blouse. Our second story, why my boy EB is not a coach. I'm so tired of them playing with this dude. And now our awful organization has the nerve to be, now for those who don't know, I can never get his name right. Sabrina gonna say his name. I call him EB. But what is his name? It's Bieniemy. What is it?
Say his name again.
No, you're making fun of me. Go ahead.
No, it's Eric Bieniemy.
Bieniemy.
Mm-hmm.
But he is the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs.
Yeah.
This should have been a head coach somewhere, but nobody ever. So now they don't want the 2 Super Bowls, 2 in 4 years. Andy has always been clear. EB is doing all the offensive plays. I have nothing to do in that area. He is in charge. So this is where you will want an OC. And how many OC coaches was in the playoffs this year? Out of the 14 teams, they had, what was it, Sabrina? 12 OCs, coaches that used to be former OCs.
Oh, I see.
You get what I'm saying? So come on now. Why you just going, and then they never give him a chance. Now our organization has the nerve to be trying to interview him in the OC position. An OC is elevated up. So you just want this dude to make, listen, think about this, Sabrina. You want this dude to make a lateral move. Lateral means on the same. From a team that I went to the Super Bowl twice in the last 4 years to a team that ain't even smelt it in 30 years. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
You want him to make that type of move. You want him to come to us. Mm-hmm. Then you're not even looking at him to elevate. You just want, you're interviewing him as an OC. That's why whatever that rule is called, where they got to interview a minority.
The Rooney Rule. Yeah.
They playing with the Rooney Rule.
Now listen, I asked the same question. I'm like, why would I leave a position that I'm already in where I just went to the top of my game and won the Super Bowl to go do the same thing somewhere else? I would only.
You ain't even going to smell it.
Yeah, I would only leave if I'm going higher, if I'm going to be the head coach. But maybe, and I'm just throwing out a maybe EB is looking at it as he can see himself being the head coach here at some point. Maybe he's leaving with future plans in mind. We're courting him. The Colts want him. The Ravens want him.
But do they want him in the same position? Do they want
the same position as offensive coordinator?
That's offensive to me. I'm sorry. If I was him, I would tell all of them kiss the northeast corner. You hear me? Because that's offensive. I'm sorry. No. Yeah. You gonna hire me to do the same thing I'm doing? I've been to the Super Bowl twice in 4 years.
Yeah.
But to go to teams that haven't even been. And I get it, they going to get them in, get them used to the environment there. But who's to say they're going to do that? They always hyping up the game and telling you they're going to do this, do that, and then they end up not doing none of it. They disrespecting this dude. Sabrina, I'm be honest with you. Something going on we don't know about. I'm telling you. There's no way you can keep looking over this dude. And all 31 teams keep looking over this dude as a head coach. Those that need it, that need one. Have been looking over this dude for the past 2 years. Because the first time they won a Super Bowl, they was coming at him. Remember? Mm-hmm. He was applying for positions, but he didn't get hired for none of them. And then they even, come on now, you would let the Jets let that dude be their head coach instead of going after EB. It's just too much.
Yeah.
It's something going on, Sabrina. I'm telling you.
I don't know, but and who knows? I don't know the full story because I've never heard EB speak on any of this himself. I want to know his position from his own mouth, and I've never heard him speak about it. So I don't know. Does he want to be the head coach? That comes with a lot of pressure. That is a lot of pressure. Does he want it? I don't even know if he wants it. I've never heard him speak.
I haven't even started talking of him. But he's doing all the work now. Why not get paid for it?
I agree. And I think he would make an excellent head coach.
I knew this wasn't going to last because I just think he got tired of the organization he was with. But Sean Peyton has been hired by the Broncos to be their new head coach. He was formerly the head coach of New Orleans Saints. They won the Super Bowl. Him and Breeze won one. He was a great coach. If you ask me, they could never always get it together. But for the most part, he did well because he had Breeze, and Breeze had some targets, and the defense was more than subpar. You know what I'm saying? So they can get it done. But thinking about the defense part, that was, I think, their Achilles heel a couple of years because Sean could put the points up, but the defense sometimes couldn't stop the opponents from putting up more points. But I'll just say this probably. I'm learning in my walk now that the second time is usually when God said the first time you decide you usually should stick with it because the second time is usually worse than the first time. I don't think if this is going to make his numbers or make him be any better. He's not going to the Super Bowl with us.
Okay.
So you get back in it to win the ultimate, to go to the top, right? It ain't going to be with us.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, let's put it like this. We know it can't be any worse than this past season. So he's coming in knowing that he's going to do better than they did. Will he make them better? I say yes.
He will make them better, but
will he get them to the playoffs? I say yes. Will they win the Super Bowl? I agree with you, no.
Right. He is going to make them better, but I still don't think they're going to the playoffs because Russell was his issue. It wasn't the Broncos' issue last year. It wasn't a head coach.
Yeah, I feel like Russell needs a certain caliber of head coach, and I feel like Sean's been there, done that, and I think that he's going to know how to play to Russell's strengths at this point in his career. He's not going to make him try to be the old Russell.
Come on now.
So I think they'll make it to the playoffs, but
that's right. You think they will?
Especially since there are 7 slots now. Like, got to make one of the 7. I think they can do that.
Okay.
Super Bowl, nah.
They have to get some more pieces in the draft too, and they have to reassign some stuff. But welcome back, Sean. This show got all kind of God overtones on it, but I see idolatry so heavy in football. It's ridiculous. They'll put this thing before they'll eat their young. And I get it. It's 16 years of practicing and eating right and not doing this and living. But at the one of my favorite people is Unc, and he had asked Sabrina a show recently he was like why he hadn't got married yet, and he blamed it on everything except for his choices.
Right.
And I was like, no, you chose to put football first. Just say it.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Yeah, because my thing is what you just said. He's like, well, I'm getting up there and blah, blah, blah. And it was because of the game that I never got married. Okay, let's say that you didn't get married while you were playing because you wanted to focus and you knew you wouldn't be able to put your all into it. Okay, cool. That was 20 years ago.
And he had kids when he was playing. So if you was doing all of that, you could have been married.
Yeah, 20 years ago. So you can't jump behind that. Just like you said, just say I
haven't met nobody to marry. I'm waiting on Boaz. I'm waiting on Ruth. Be something, But just to say, nah, you're going to put it on that now.
No, not now. If he could have said that then, I could have said, okay, but not now. So speaking of making idols out of football and people making football an idol, Tom Brady has officially retired. Hopefully, we believe truly for the last time. He can go live his life now. And it's funny that to me, he's given up so much to now retire at this point. And now what do you have to show for? You gain nothing by staying them extra few years. Nothing.
And between me and you, Giselle already got her new boo thing.
That's what they say. Yeah.
So you get your family back at this point.
Yeah, but at least they're cordial. She put a note out there when he retired, good luck on the rest of your life and blah, blah, blah. And, they making it seem.
That dude, that was a D.
Okay.
But they offer him hundreds and hundreds of millions to be a commentator.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, he got offered a huge contract to be a commentator.
And that's the thing. Even though he probably didn't want to retire, he can really write the ticket for the rest of his life. He can decide what he wants to do and someone's going to pay him top dollar to do it. So he's
Yeah.
still going to be cool. It's just that he won't be able to play the way that he wanted to all this time. So,
and I don't think money was ever an issue with him, because if it was, he would have been like when he was with the Patriots. He was never the highest paid quarterback in the league. He always took a lower salary to get so that money could be spread around so he can get the weapons that he needed, because the most important thing to him was winning the Super Bowl. It wasn't more money. Like Russell did it one year. He took a contract that literally destroyed the Seahawks at that time, because they couldn't afford to pay anyone else but him. So that's why I say, and speaking of my other boy, Lamar still ain't got no splash. These Ravens, they need to stop playing with my boy. They need to stop it.
They do.
They need to either give him the money or let him come 45 minutes down the road. I'm going to personally go up there myself and holler at him. I'm going to holler at the mama, because the way to get to him is through his mama.
Can you imagine, can you imagine us with the weapons we have, McLaurin and Dotson and all of them ones, and have an offensive coordinator like Bieniemy, and then a mobile quarterback like Lamar? We would be unstoppable. Do you hear me? Unstoppable.
But you do have to take a little bit of pride out this year. So I'm going to talk about my year for me. The highlight of the year is when I went to Philly and we beat the Eagles, because we beat them and they were the Super Bowl. They went to the Super Bowl, but we beat them, and we beat them fast. But we beat them without excuse. Jalen was in the game, everything was in there. So that was a highlight, that I traveled to Dallas and I went to Philly, and the Commanders beat them. So that gave me a little bit of hope that we'll soon one day get it together. But they need to figure out what they're going to do with this team. So reportedly, the team is getting sold second week of March. So that's the last thing I heard. Like, it's all done. They're just tweaking the last final numbers. They already chosen the new owner. And supposedly it's supposed to go down the second week of March, because Snyder already done put his mansion up for sale in Virginia.
Yes, he did.
So he's moving away from the area. So come on here. I can't wait, but
yeah,
everybody say a prayer.
Say a prayer. Listen, I don't want to pray on nobody's downfall, not like that. Like, I hope he's okay as a human being, but I can't wait for him to pack his bags and get out of here as far as he can go. Go ahead and live the rest of your life.
That's
you like
right.
Tom Brady, live the rest of your life. Make your investments. Do what you do, your business, but don't do it here.
But my whole thing too is when I do want somebody removed from me, Sabrina, the key is to pray them to move away from you in elevation, not decline. So you say, God bless them to get promoted away from me. You always pray for an elevation in that. So I want him to be the best businessman he can be, but not be the owner of the command.
Yeah, bye-bye. So yeah, things are looking up. If we can get the right coordinator, I wish we get a new coach, but amen, that's neither here nor there. That can be next year.
Hold on to that dude. Let him go.
Because of the ownership change, I'm sure like they can't do all of that.
That dude go.
But anyway, things are at least looking up. I hope not to boy Taylor Heineke ends up somewhere. I don't know if he's going to end up staying here as a backup. I don't know.
Can you do worse as a backup with him? They should just let him stay. That way, that's one thing they don't have to work out. He's good enough to be a starter, but you can keep him in the backup role if they have to go with Howe. Which is, to me, is the craziest thing, because this dude is not battle tested. You saw him in one game. Now you're ready to make him the starter? Are you crazy? But yet 49ers get Mr. Irrelevant, and they go all the way to the NFC Championship. You know what I'm saying? Come on now.
They wrote it out with him. They didn't pull the plug on him. Yeah, like they did Heineke. So we'll see. It's a lot of things up in the air, but the dust will start to settle, like you said, in March, before this NFL coaches or owners meeting. When they hopefully announce the winner before then. So I don't know.
I'm straight prayer mode with this, because I just need us to do a reset. We just have to do better. We have too much talent for us. We beat the Eagles this year, and we beat them handily, and we beat them on. They were without excuse.
In Philadelphia at that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, God, that was so good. I was at that game. I'm gonna never forget that. We had a good year. Sabrina,
yeah, but
I finally went back and looked at all the picks. I lost by 2.
Oh, you did?
I counted. I wish I would have had the official numbers, but I think I lost by 2.
I don't have no statue, so I'm gonna pick up my gold scissors. Dun, 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 dun,
But
dun,
Sabrina
dun.
called the lie. She called that Tomlin would not have a losing year. She called that right. I just knew he was not out Roethlisberger, but he's my third goat of coaches because he's gonna pull it out.
Yeah, some way, somehow. Yeah.
Exactly. So even though they didn't go to the playoffs, he still had a winning season. So.
Yeah. Very good. And so Gwen mentioned that this is our last taping of this season, but it's not our last taping, period. Just because football is ending, it doesn't mean we're going anywhere. There's always off-season stuff, particularly with the Commanders and all this change. We're not going anywhere. Look out for us doing other videos, even through the upcoming season. So Spikes and Heels are sticking around. Thank you for being with us for another season.
We had so much fun, and our numbers grew. We're still trying to get them to grow. So look for us at other platforms as well, TikTok, Instagram. But we're going to stick around.
All right. So with that being said, for the last time this season, I'm Sabrina.
I'm Gwen. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Love someone. Bye.
Bye.